its voice to global peace, 6 strategic campaigns targeting youths. Massacre of 43 rice farmers in Borno State. Nigeria's Governors Forum profiles solutions to lasting peace in the northeast. Appeal Court affirms Mariam Sanda's death sentence for the murder of her husband, Bilyaminu Muhammad Bello.
Well, thanks to Ranjit, who wants to help us with our own projects too.
2020 Global Teachers Prize correspondent shares in the joy of the Nigerian teacher who made it to the top 10 in the entire West African bloc. A warm welcome to the news on NTA. I am Jummai Yusuf, bringing you the news with my colleagues from the zones. Adiola Kami Akere is in Lagos and Kemi Oshun will be joining us from Ibadan. Thanks so much for joining us. Now let's begin. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed optimism that improved relations between Nigeria and South Africa will speed up the process of Africa's development. This was at an audience with the chairman of the African National Congress, ANC, and South Africa's Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Kwede Matanshi. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Mr. Gwede Montashe was in the State House as a special envoy of his country's president, Cyril Ramaphosa. He presented to President Muhammadu Buhari a special message from the South African leader. Contents of the message were, however, not made public. Thus, notwithstanding, President Muhammadu Buhari directed the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva, to work with his South African counterpart on the request he brought and report back to him for necessary action. The president, who recalled his last trip to Pretoria, said he and the South African leader worked together in resolving the migrants' crisis between the two brotherly nations. Both President Buhari and the South African Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, as well as chairman of the ruling party, were unanimous that the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa is key to the developmental aspirations of the continent. Emphasis was therefore placed on the need for the two nations, as the largest economies in Africa, to work as partners. This relationship, they say, will determine the future of Africa. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Now, more voices playing on the button of peace are asking for global community to change the present unrest and tension in the world, with strategic campaigns targeting youths. Usman Aliu reports that a Commonwealth group handed this kind of message to the diplomatic community in Abuja.
Voices in unison spiraling the power to change the behavior in the wake of growing tension in the world. The concern at this forum is channeling effective strategy to put at rest the rising conflicts, crime wave, and address the problem of climate change, which, as pointed out here, shape how people live.
First, we must have a nation before you even talk about security and economic development. And it is in the hands of the young people. If the youth of Nigeria come together to have a common focus on peace, Nigeria will definitely develop.
That's something we cherish, something we desire, something we hanker for, not just in our country, but the world over today. Peace is fleeing, but we must get a hold of it.
So the theme of this performance, Peace for All Nations, is a stark reminder of the core value and objectives of the Commonwealth.
With the scintillating voices comforting the souls, the diplomat, past and present leaders here believe it's a great way to make people ponder on global peace for the future. In Abuja, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
Now, talking judiciary, Federal High Court sitting in Abuja formally revoked the bail granted former chairman of the Defunct Pension Reform Tax Team, Abdul Rashid Mena, and ordered his detention at Kuje Correctional Center. Austin Ayebe was in court and completes the report.
The case was earlier scheduled for continuation of trial of the accused in absentia with the 9th prosecution witness to give his evidence in chief. But there was a twist as the defendant was brought to court by the EFCC operatives, having been arrested in Niger Republic. Prosecution counsel Mohammed Abubakar prayed the court to remind the accused as his arrest was possible through the court warrant issued on the 18th of November. This was granted by Justice Okon Abang as he ordered his detention at the correctional center. Earlier, Francis Oraswin from Joe Gazama's chamber, representing Abdulrashid Mina and his son Faisal, formally withdrew his legal representation. A new counsel, Adaj Ebel, announced appearance for the accused, but prayed for short adjournment to enable him study the processes and evidence given so far in the case. Justice Okon Abang granted a prayer in the interest of justice and adjourned the case to the 8th of December for continuation of hearing. Faisal Abdulrashid was not in court to open his defense, hence his case was foreclosed and prosecution directed to submit his written address in the matter in the absence of any defense argument. In Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has affirmed death sentence imposed by the FCT High Court on Mariam Sanda for her involvement in the death of her husband, Biliaminu Mohammed Bello. Mariam Sanda was sentenced to death on January 27, 2020 by Justice Yusuf Halilu on a 2-count charge of culpable homicide, citing 20 grounds of appeal. The convict had approached the appellate court for the judgment of the trial court to set it aside. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, has ordered the immediate withdrawal of suits challenging the legality of State Judicial Panel of Inquiry into alleged brutality by the defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. A statement by the force explains that the withdrawal is sequel to the outcome of investigations into the role played by the force legal section in the institution of the suit. It will be recalled that the IDP had on the 3rd of December 2020 ordered a probe into the alleged involvement of the force legal section in an attempt to halt the ongoing State Judicial Panel of Inquiries into the activities of the defunct SARS. The force, he said, will not allow anybody to constitute a brick wall to the ongoing reform processes of the force. Now let's bring you other news of the day. The conversion of vehicles to dual fuel or auto gas to deepen gas utilization in Nigeria is free. This is the policy thrust of government to have the buy-in of interested motorists by 2021. Technical advisor to the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Gas Business and Policy Implementation, Justice Dele Faka, reiterates that this is in line with the pronouncement made by the Minister of State Petroleum Resources and the GMD and NPC.
And we're looking at 1 million vehicles by the end of 2021.
The free conversion to auto gas will no doubt further deepen gas utilization in Nigeria. Senate Committee on Trade and Investment has screened 7 nominees as chairman and members of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission Tribunal, with a charge on them to protect Nigerian consumers from dubious activities of importers and manufacturers. John Yakuk has details.
The 7 nominees are Saratu Shafi as chairman and Thomas Okosun, Shola Ajulo, Ibrahim El Yakub, Umar Dauda Duhu, Kenneth Gado and George Kuma Mbono as members, representing each of the geopolitical zones of the Federation. With no objection from the states of origin, rich credentials and without criminal records, they were asked to take a bow and go after individually interfacing with the committee.
You now buy data for 100 naira and there's no network for you to actually use to browse that data, and by tomorrow that money is gone. Nigerians need protection.
And we know by the grace of Almighty God you contribute a lot to this tribunal, but to make life meaningful for Nigerians, Nigerian consumers, including you.
It's not as if there is absence of laws. Like I said, the statutes are there. What is required is just to breathe life into them.
The Senate, at its sitting on Tuesday, 24th November 2020, had considered the request by Mr. President to screen the 7 nominees for confirmation as chairman and members of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission Tribunal. John Yaku, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has appealed to members of the print media not to allow themselves to be misled by the growing influence of the social media in the discharge of their statutory role of nation building. The minister made the appeal at a meeting with members of Newswith title editors in Lagos. Anthony Fossen was there.
Gentlemen, what exactly were the NSAS protest about?
Recalling the peaceful NSAS protest which turned violent, the Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed said the violence was fueled by fake news through the social media. But regrettably, some newspapers followed suit with screaming headlines corroborating the social media misinformation and fake stories.
No group was better placed than you to lead the narrative of what actually transpired that night. But it seems you ceded that authority to social media, which has no time for the rigors of gatekeeping or fact-checking. I hope in reviewing your coverage of the whole crisis, you will rectify that anomaly.
Insisting on the need for the regulation of the social media space, Lai Mohammed said social media has come to stay, but must be used responsibly.
We will not sit down and allow a reckless use of social media to aggravate our fault lines and throw the country into turmoil. But in curbing the excesses of social media, rest assured, gentlemen, that we will neither shut down the internet nor stifle press freedom or free speech.
Lai Mohammed told the title editors that already the federal government has begun a review of the NSAS crisis with a presidential directive with ministers going back to their respective states to meet with stakeholders, just as a federal government delegation has equally visited the various zones. He disclosed that the outcome of these consultations will feed into an overall review of the whole crisis by government. In Lagos, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
Chairman Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Restitution sitting in Lagos, Justice Doris Okunwobi, has ruled against the application for adjournment filed by counsel to petitioner, directing both counsel to respondent and petitioner to submit their addresses to the panel. Dr. Oguyemi has the report.
It was another day at the panel. In the case of Okoliagu Abnike versus Police, counsel to the respondent calls its witness Mr. Cletus Ogbu an electronics dealer. He narrated how the petitioner was brought to his company by his parents to learn trading in 2008. Upon completion, the petitioner was given employment by Mr. Cletus. The witness told the panel that the petitioner rose to the position of a branch manager, but later stole a sum of 19 million naira from the company. During cross-examination, counsel to the petitioner, Olukoya Ugumbeje, asked the witness if he had the audited financial report stating the said missing money. Counsel then approached the panel for an adjournment for further cross-examination. Counsel to respondent objected to the application. This generated serious arguments by both counsels.
Be calm in the conduct of proceedings. It's better when a proceeding is conducted with utmost civility. All this shouting does not augur well for the legal profession.
Justice Doris Okunwobi further rules that both counsel should file their addresses within 1 week and adjourns the case until December 11th for judgment. Basil Ejiago, Francis Idum, Inkem Kulam Okbara, and Ibrahim Kabiru were also cross-examined and their cases adjourned till 15th December for further hearing. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. The news continues shortly. Don't go away.
Everybody listen up. Let me tell you something. Better service don't lie. Don't just sit down there look. Star 990 hash. Now he be the code. To send money, you done days. Anywhere you get no long story. This is your bank. Now you can do more. 9PSB. Now he be the way. Star 990.
Introducing 9PSB. Open an account right away with your phone number and Instantly start to send and receive money by dialing *990#. You can even pay your bills and also enjoy more opportunities to get your cash back through any of our nationwide agents near you.
The Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola, cordially invites National Assembly members, State Commissioners, Permanent Secretaries, Directors of Works, and other stakeholders in the works sector to the 26th meeting of the National Council on Works. Theme: Road Infrastructure and Development, Job Creation and National Economic Growth. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, the Executive Governor of Rivers State. Date: Monday 7th to Friday 11th December 2020. Time 9 a.m. daily. Venue: Hotel Presidential, Aba Road, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Interested stakeholders and members of the public can join online via the Zoom credentials below. Ernest A. Umakie, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. Announcer.
Get all the nutrients that we need from plants.
SGL Farms is offering an excellent opportunity to profit big during the current dry season. This is the time of the year when most farmers rest, but the motivated farm can boost operations during dry season to take advantage of much higher market prices. Invest now in our rice farm and earn a full 50% profit in just 4 months instead of the usual 6 months. We are currently offering mop-up deals that let investors take out standing plots. Some of our investors experienced setbacks with COVID-19 and the current recession. They are unable to meet their installment payment obligation. This gives you a unique opportunity to pick up available plots for 50% profit in just 4 months. Visit our website at www.sglfarms.com or call us now to discuss and invest. Call or WhatsApp on 0905 500 8800. SGL Farms. Invest in agriculture. Grow your money.
Hello, fellow progressives. Our party's membership registration exercise has commenced. We call on all our members across the country to revalidate their membership of the All Progressives Congress APC. This exercise will run from December 12, 2020 to January 9, 2021. All members who have not registered and others who intend to join our great party should avail themselves of this opportunity. The registration shall run concurrently in all wards in every state of Nigeria. Do not hesitate to become a registered progressive. Be part of progress and good governance. Your membership of APC empowers you to stand for elections and play your role in governance. Your registration empowers you to determine who becomes our party's candidate, runs for election, and be in government. Register, empower yourself, do it now.
All stakeholders in insurance sector and the general public are invited to a 2-day public hearing scheduled as follows. A bill for an act to repeal the Insurance Act Caption 117 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Insurance Bill 2020. Date 14 to 15 December 2020. Venue Room 028, House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Time 11 a.m. prompt daily. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker, House of Representatives. All memoranda to be submitted in 30 hard copies and a soft copy are to be made to room 226 or meeting room 440, House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, Abuja, on or before the 11th of December. For further inquiries, please call Right Honorable Darlington Mokocha, Chairman Committee on Insurance and Actual Matters.
Get all the nutrients that we need from plants.
Thanks for joining us. First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is collaborating with the wives of the Nigerian governors in addressing gender-based violence and other related issues affecting women, youth and children in the country. This formed part of the resolution of a one-day seminar on the series of events dedicated to 16 days advocacy against gender-based violence organized by the African First Ladies Peace Mission in collaboration with the Office of the First Lady of Nigeria and the UK-based NGO CTP International. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
The seminar with the theme, The First Lady as Leader and Mobilizer of Women and Youth for Peace Building, Community Conflict Resolution and Resilience in the Post-COVID-19 Era, is expected to address the burning issues affecting women, youth and other vulnerable groups who suffered the disruption the COVID-19 pandemic has caused. The First Lady, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Women Affairs and Administration, Dr. Hajasani, in a virtual presentation acknowledged the role of the wives of governors in complementing all effort in the advocacy for bettering lots of women and children, noting that their contribution served as an engine towards shaping a better life for women and children, particularly those at the grassroots. She urged them to maintain the spirit, particularly as the world is pushing to win the fight against COVID-19, as well as the challenges of gender-based violence.
Why did First Ladies decide to come together to address gender-based violence? It is because First Ladies, as we've heard all day, we have a voice, we command respect, and many of us are already involved in a lot of issues regarding providing support to people in our communities.
We have learned a lot, and inshallah we will take it to our state and include our local government.
The way to really do that is using things like sports and other social activities. And so that's what today was all about. And I think it turned out very well with the wives of the governors.
Stakeholders reaffirmed their commitment to continue to create the enabling environment for a better society for all. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Beneficiaries of the federal government's special cash grant for rural women in Imo State have promised to ensure effective utilization of the fund. They made this known in OA during the flag-off of disbursement by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk. Bright Ubucho reports.
The special cash grant for rural women was introduced by the federal government as one of the social intervention programs aimed at uplifting the poor and vulnerable groups in the society. Emilia Obokweha, Centenary Suji, and Ukirian Wokafo, who are among beneficiaries of the federal government special cash grant, lauded President Muhammadu Buhari for the gesture, noting that it will enhance their businesses.
Thank you, Buhari. Thank you, Ajia. We are happy for what he has done for us, because most of us are not feeling very well.
I'm very, very glad. Since I was born in Nigeria, I've not seen this type of thing before.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Farouk, says the cash grant of 20,000 naira each will be disbursed to over 150,000 poor and vulnerable women across the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT.
Giving them 20,000 cash grant for them to start their business. This is an intervention from His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari.
Director General, New Partnership for African Development, NEPAD, Gloria Kubando, affirms that the grant will go a long way in ameliorating the plight of beneficiaries.
Women are getting their social intervention to add to their business to support the Imo women.
In Owerri, Bright Ebuchu, NTA News.
In a renewed impetus to ensure transparency, efficiency and ease of doing business in Nigeria, the federal government has automated the import duty exemption certificate processing. Minister of Finance Zainab Shamshuna Ahmed stated this during a one-day sensitization seminar organized by the ministry in collaboration with the Nigerian Customs. Awal Salisu has an update.
The decision to automate the process was part of government's effort to eliminate human interface in the processing of duty waiver applications. The current process, which lacks transparency, involves lengthy bureaucratic processes that usually last between 60 to 180 days. The automation will therefore replace the manual process of application, processing of waivers, determination of eligibility of applicants, and validation of previously granted waivers. The sensitization seminar is to intimate the participants about the reform in the system.
On an annual basis, we receive about 1,000 different requests for import duty waivers.
The primary aim of waivers and IDEP in every economy is to provide incentives that will stimulate industrialization and economic growth.
Munir Abdullahi is one of the participants.
Something like this will actually go a long way in, giving more awareness and then also educating the importers.
Government has decided that the area of no man, I know you, is gone. Let's go it now on digital.
Like Munir, other participants said the automation will promote trade efficiency, boost investors' confidence, and ease their way of doing business. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
The federal government has given assurances that the challenges being faced by Nigerian traders in Ghana will be addressed without the day. The Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, stated this at a meeting with some members of the Nigerian Union of Traders Association in Ghana, NUTAG, led by the President of the umbrella body of National Association of Nigerian Traders, NANTS, Dr. Ken Ukoa, in Abuja. Ambassador Zubairu Dada promised that federal government is looking at all options outside evacuation. Also present at the meeting was the chairman, Nitcom Abike Dabri Erewa, and a representative of the Minister of Labour.
Government has discussed the matter. The government is very much seized of the matter, and that it has actually strategized on various approaches to the issue and not limiting it to just evacuation.
This has shown that the government is listening, and has also shown that we have a government that we can run to anytime, and we are so much comforted.
It could be recalled that about 753 Nigerian traders in Ghana have written a letter of Save Our Soul to the federal government requesting to be evacuated back home to Nigeria as their means of livelihood have been cut off by the Ghanaian authorities. Now, he is a teacher from Nigeria and represented the entire West African bloc at the just concluded 2020 Global Teachers Prize Award and made it to the top 10. Although he didn't clinch the global prize, Opefa Olasukami did his country proud as the star prize went to Rajit Singh Desel, an Indian teacher, for his work helping girls mostly from poor tribal communities at a village school in Western India. Olaika Ojo had a chat with Opefa Olasukami on lessons learned from the competition.
Here, our top 10 finalists are awaiting Stephen Fry's announcement of the $1 million star prize for the 2020 Global Teacher Award.
And the winner of the Global Teacher Prize 2020 is Ranjit Desale from India.
Awesome moments for Desale, who immediately announced he will share half of the prize money with the 9 other finalists.
Because I believe that if I share this prize money with 9 teachers, it means I can scale up their work. Their incredible work is still worthy.
On the gesture from the winner and the impact of the competition on the teaching profession, Opefa Olasukami says,
But thanks to Ranjit, who wants to help us with our own projects too. Because of the situation of things now, I would still like to have a digital school, but it will be like an ICT hub.
For the government day secondary school Karo community, his coming this far is a plus, not just to the teaching profession, but the education sector.
Though he didn't come out as the best teacher, we still believe in him.
He didn't come to us as a surprise. He has really tried and he deserves, to be the best teacher in the whole world.
Opefa Olasukami was selected from 12,000 nominations from more than 140 countries around the world for the World Teacher Prize by Vaki Foundation. Olaika Ojo, NTA News.
We hope this will jig other teachers to do more, as the reward of a teacher is now here on earth. Moving on, the 8th regular meeting of the National Council on Communications and Digital Economy has ended in Owerri, the Imo State capital, with emphasis on adoption of digital economy in the process of governance at all levels. Beatrice Ayam reports.
The 8th regular meeting of the National Council on Communication and Digital Economy brought together stakeholders in the sector whose objective is to seek ways of full adoption of digital economy by the government. Chairman of the Council and Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Ali Pantami, represented by the Permanent Secretary Musa Istifanos, says part of the decision is to create penetration in broadband to enable access to e-learning and information in the nooks and crannies of the country.
Federal, states and local governments to ensure that they digitize their processes so as to reduce costs, enhance efficiency and entrench transparency.
The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, represented by the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Ikechukwu Sondume, says there is compelling need for every country of the world to switch to digital economy.
Those e-marketing programs are what we're talking about, where somebody that has shop here can equally through ICT inform the whole of Imo that there is something here. They come there.
Other stakeholders, including the Director General of NTA, represented by the Executive Director of Engineering, Stephen Moses.
As a reporter, you may not necessarily need to go to the office to file in your report. Remotely at the place where you are reporting, you can do that. You can also do it at the comfort of your home.
The event featured award presentation to outstanding states in the area of ICT development in Owerri. Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
Ukboga in Okene and Adavi Eba in Adavi local government areas of Kogi State became the latest communities to benefit from the electrification project of the federal government, which anchors on President Muhammadu Buhari's determination to light up rural communities in Nigeria. The two communities' 250-bed cottage hospitals now boast of a combined 7 to 4.5 kilowatt power solar hybrid mini grid fully installed by the Rural Electrification Agency.
To have a combined kilowatt power of 70.4 solar hybrid mini grid here in the 250 cottage hospital in Opogo and Adavieba could mean a turning point in the healthcare system.
It's giving us enough light.
The community will enjoy it.
So we thank God that they bring this thing to us.
The critical mandates of Rural Electrification Agency as an implementing agency of the federal government is to provide 24 hours of clean, reliable and uninterrupted renewable energy to served and unserved populace, especially rural communities in Nigeria. The essence is to guarantee optimum performance of cottage hospitals such as those of Ukbogo and Adavieba in Kogi State, where solar power systems have been installed to help improve smooth operation of the hospitals. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Rural Electrification Agency, Ahmad Salihijo Ahmad, says the effort is part of government's post-COVID-19 intervention in health sector, given the havoc pandemic has caused. The ultimate goal, he says, is to better the social and economic lives of people, particularly in rural communities.
Even in Kogi alone, in the next year or so, we're doing another 10 primary healthcare centers. You know, there are another 3 some of the isolation centers that were used during the COVID pandemic, including, I think, the General Hospital.
The Rural Electrification Agency is currently implementing the Rural Electrification Fund, Nigeria Electrification Project, Energizing Education Program from Okene, Kogi State. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
It's time to take a breather as we join Adiola Kami Akere in Lagos for more reports. Good to see you, Adiola.
See you too, Jummai.
Major players in the manufacturing sector has expressed displeasure over the importation of substandard products into the Nigerian market at the detriment of domestic goods. They made their positions known at a stakeholders meeting in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
Nigeria, with the largest economy in Africa and a population of over 200 million people, has the most attractive market for investments. The regulated market developed to accommodate both domestic and foreign investors to attract seamless business operations is being abused by those who engage in importation of substandard goods. This worrisome situation, with its attendant consequences on the economy and local manufacturers, has been linked with the inability of the Standards Organization of Nigeria to join other regulatory bodies at the seaports to verify products before entry.
To do your work then the port will become to be the most effective, because otherwise to keep chasing people who have already brought in substandard does not help.
Director General, Standards Organization of Nigeria, Farouk Salim, said partnership with the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria will be intensified in order to identify genuine local producers, while the organization will continue to deploy its arsenal at controlling the menace of importing fake products into the country.
Make sure things that are already approved are the only items in the queue. But still, we need the opportunity to have free access to goods both within the ports and outside the ports.
The regulatory body said now is the time for the association to verify that companies issued MANCAP certification do not engage in the production of substandard products moving forward. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Racism, racial inequality, and the struggle of the global Africans have continued to attract concerns among stakeholders. These experts say, if unattended to, will continue to distort global peace and unity. Our Yusuf Jibo, who was at the International Conference for Black and African Arts and Culture held in Lagos, tells us more.
Arguably, no serious discourse on the historical development of global Africa would be complete without a critical analysis of the subject of race and racism. Africa, the acclaimed cradle of human civilization, and her peoples have suffered and continue to suffer this phenomena with big consequences on its capacity for self-realization in an increasingly competitive world. It is in this regard that the Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, CBAC, organized this international conference to brainstorm on ideas and the possible ways forward. Keynote speaker, Professor Abdulkarim Bangura of the Center for Global Peace, Washington, D.C., USA, condemned past and recent acts of violence and molestation meted out on blacks the world over.
Why we get angry at the police killing blacks? We usually are mum or mute in talking about black on black violence. We cannot be oblivious to the interracial and black on black violence.
And we're even going to go further than this by making sure to find solution to racism and this inequality that is going on.
Other participants also give their views.
Although Black history is very clearly American history because this country was built off the back of slave labor, the separation continues to expose the failure of the American education system to incorporate the full range of diversity as a part of their mission.
CBAC has a strategic mandate and plays a key role in making Nigeria the arrowhead in the preservation, promotion, and propagation of African cultural heritage. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
And that's a bit from here. The news will continue after this break. To stay with us.
Get all the nutrients that we need from plants.
Shola, come on, help me.
You need to learn. But I'm more interested in drawing. How are you going to be part of the business if you don't learn? You just don't understand.
Morning. Anyone for some Lipton?
The rich taste of Lipton awakens body and mind. Let me have a look at your drawings. Son, these designs are amazing. Lipton Yellow Label Tea. Awaken to what really matters.
Je distribue les swings et les uppercuts. Ça fait, et ça fait. Ou bien, ou parfois même. Viens petite fille dans mon comic strip. Viens faire des bulles, viens faire des.
Always remember,
this man I really like it.
you deserve a break. Even in the hustle and bustle of the day, you can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge. You deserve a break.
Taste is key and that's how we communicate. Best nourishment in every school. Mama, tasty mama, share the love we all together. Mama, tasty, nourishing, scoop it.
Mama, best scoop of tasty nourishment.
We congratulate you for progress on your journey, for all your efforts, for being creative and the best at anything you do. While taking care of your family, you also didn't give up taking care of yourself. For all your confident steps, we congratulate you and all Mofix mothers. You are always the number one. Now, Nigeria's number one choice of mothers have Mofix Air Dry. Thanks to its ultra-absorbency and breathability, Mofix has the dryness all the mothers dream of, so the babies will not experience any rash. Babies are always comfortable. Mothers are too, because they don't need to worry about ventilation. Thanks to Mofix Air Dry, now babies and mothers enjoy the ultimate peace. Come and join the mothers who experience Mofix Air Dry.
It is time for celebration. 30 years bustling with goodness. No child can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Mountain Guinness, bustling with so much greatness. Mountain Guinness, enjoy our world of
small beginnings, only stepping stones to bigger things. That's our philosophy at Premium Pension. And so no matter the size of your money, our team of expert fund managers invested wisely and actively to make sure your money is always working as hard as you do. After all, the things we're building today can help shape your future in the long run. And with the right partner by your side, the one thing you're sure to do is soar. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Mommy is back! Guess what's inside? Chocolate. Biscuit. Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection. Why are we changing our toothpaste? Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free. Cavity? What cavity? Let me show you.
Most toothaches are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity.
It also has natural mint for minty fresh breath every day. Mom, can I eat chocolates now? As long as you brush with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in. Keeps cavities out!
Recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
Welcome back. The Nigerian Governors Forum is closely working on available report to ensure the lasting return of peace after the massacre of 43 peasant farmers in Garin-Kwashebe of Jere local government area of Borno State and other parts of the country. Abubakar Usman Akonga reports that this was part of the communique drafted at the 22nd teleconference of the forum.
To prevent such occurrence follows NGF resolution to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari over the avoidable massacre of 43 farmers in Borno State. The forum promises to ensure a conclusive hearing on the nationwide Judicial Commission of Inquiry on disbanded NSAS brutality and endorsed Nigerian police reforms by federal government. The forum is also intervening with the leadership of ASU to suspend the lingering strike which has affected the nation's education system. On COVID-19 containment, PTF is engaging NGF on the need to keep all treatment centers open across the country and plan to launch COVID-19 vaccine for 44 million Nigerians. NGF is to access 2 trillion naira pension fund for investment in infrastructure at 9% interest rate, while CBN has similar proposal of 15 trillion naira at 5% interest rates. States' fiscal transparency, accountability and sustainability has cleared 32 states to access funds, while controversies surrounding the water resources bill and stamp duty were being resolved. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force has reaffirmed its commitment to add value to pilot training to ensure security of lives and property in the country. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, stated this during the handover ceremony of reactivated aircraft in Kano. Yahanusu Hassan Baro reports.
This is the second time the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, is visiting Kano in 2 weeks. He is here this time around to commission the 2 reactivated L-39ZA aircraft and to witness the acceptance flights of the aircraft following the completion of the in-country life extension program conducted by the equipment manufacturers of Czech Republic, Aero Vodakadi, with the assistance of the Nigerian Air Force technicians.
We are hoping that in time to come, we will not need anybody to come here in order to support us to do a life extension program. Yes. And besides that, of course, you know, we have saved foreign exchange. We were to air freight this fighter aircraft to Czech Republic. That would have cost us a lot of money.
He said this development will no doubt aid in tackling the security challenges bedeviling the northern region, which is estimated to have a land space of 705,000 square kilometers. More aircrafts, according to the Air Force boss, are expected to be reactivated in due course. In Kano, Yahana Sansan, NTA News.
Now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has expressed its readiness to support indigenous ship owners through greater patronage and participation in the oil and gas maritime business in Nigeria. The Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, gave the assurance while playing host to members of the Nigerian Fleet Implementation Committee who paid a working visit to the NNPC Towers, Abuja. A statement by Dr. Kenny Obachiro, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, said with the scale of corporation's activities in the maritime sector, NNPC would get more active in the affairs of the Fleet Management Committee with a view to strengthening the synergy between the corporation and the private sector. Chairman of the committee, Hassan Bello, said Nigeria was losing $1.9 billion to foreign ship owners annually. He appealed to the GMD to encourage NNPC subsidiaries to always engage indigenous shipping companies in their businesses. It's now time to head to Ibadan, and Kemi is our guide. Hello, Kemi.
Jummai, and a warm welcome to Ibadan. The closure of Nigeria's land borders and its attendant benefits on the country has varied impacts on individuals and communities. The impact on Gwanara, a border town in Barutin local government area of Kwara State, is of a mixed nature. Kendi Omolosho tells us more.
Nigeria closed its land borders in August 2019 to checkmate smuggling, illegal importation, and proliferation of arms. A liter of premium motor spirit at the only filling station in Gwanara is sold officially for 185 naira. But since the border closure, it now sells for 250 naira per liter at the black market. It is also not business as usual because the hype for business activities has shut down, making the community lose the commercial boom it was known for.
There was a time we bought a liter of fuel here 400 naira, 500 naira, 250. Averagely 250.
Recently, however, government announced consideration for reopening of borders, and this has brought a smile to the people.
It is also our fault that people are smuggling. We don't smuggle here. We are law-abiding citizens, but we are paying for the price of what others have done.
Not disregarding the federal government directives on smuggling and illegal importations, it will be a very good thing to reopen the borders for legal trade.
The appeal to the federal government is to help tie the Gwanara-Bukuro Road, also establish an ECOWAS international market. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
And it's time now for another break. More reports on the network news. When we come back, stay with us.
Gratitude to God for a most remarkable and worthy life. The Ndoma Egba Onono family of Cross River State and Anambra State respectively announce the transition to eternal glory of our wife, mother, grandmother, sister, auntie, in-law, and friend. Mrs. Amaka Lauret Ndoma Egba, Ni Onono, died on the 19th November 2020 at the age of 54 years. She was an entrepreneur and founder of Start Right Schools Abuja. She is survived by Senator Victor Ndoma Egba, OFI, CON, son, former Senate leader and former chairman, NDDC, husband, Hugo and Nneoma Ndoma Egba, son and daughter-in-law, Zara Ndoma Egba, daughter, Kami Ndoma Egba, daughter, Adora August Ndoma Egba, granddaughter, Mrs. Ngozi Adolo, sister, Mr. Thomas Ono Jr., brother, Mrs. Ifeyema Menkiti, sister, Mrs. Cynthia Edozie, sister, Miss Chiezo Ono, sister, many in-laws, cousins, nieces, nephews, adopted children, the Ndoma Egba and Onono clans, and very close their friends. Burial arrangement, 6th December 2020. Venue, Mira Event Center, Block 135, Mustafa Bello Street, Zabe, Abuja. Time, 5 p.m. Requiem-Mass, 9th December 2020. Venue, Church of Assumption, Sokoro, Abuja. Time, 4 p.m. Funeral Mass, 12th December 2020. Venue, Our Lady Queen of Peace Parish, Abaramo, Ikom, Cross River State. Time, 10 a.m. Kindly forward all tributes and condolence message by 4th December 2020 to amakalivesong@gmail.com. Please note that all COVID-19 protocols will be strictly observed. Professor Roland Ndoma Egba, for the family, announcer.
The Red Devils will look to continue their greatest away form when they travel to London to face the Hammers this Saturday. Will they succeed, or will the Hammers win their third consecutive home game against the Red Devils? Find out when West United hosts Manchester United on the Premier League Live from 6 p.m, showing on the NTA network. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Papa Ijebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
Welcome back. The Bali family wishes to announce the passing of their father, grandfather, and uncle, General Damkat Bali. He was aged 80. General Bali was the Chief of Defense Staff, Minister of Defense, member of the Supreme Military Council, and held several key military command positions. The veteran of the Nigerian Civil War will be remembered for his wisdom, patriotism, and firm commitment for the unity of Nigeria. He is survived by his family. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has commiserated with the people and government of Plateau State over the passing of an illustrious son and highly decorated retired military officer, General Damkat Bali, who served the country as Minister of Defense. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, indicates that President Buhari, who spoke with the wife of the deceased, Esther, this Friday, also condoles with other family members, friends, and professional associates of the former member of the Supreme Military Council and Armed Forces Ruling Council. After rising through the ranks with a distinguished military career, reaching the peak as Chief of Defense Staff, President Buhari believes the record of bravery and patriotism of General Bali, the Ponzu Tarok, will continue to inspire young military officers, while the foundation he laid in all the commands he added will will be always remembered. President Muhammadu Buhari has also constituted a delegation led by the Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi, retired, to visit the family and condole with the government and people of the state over the loss and praise that Almighty God will receive the soul of the departed and comfort his family. Similarly, Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State has also condoled with the family of the departed general, noting that Plateau State and the nation have lost one of its patriotic and loyal sons and a key member of the Supreme Military Council and Armed Forces Ruling Council, where he held several positions, including the Chief of Defence Staff, and deployed his wealth of knowledge advising several administrations. The need for women to actively participate in the tasks of nation building has again been stressed in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where the remains of two prominent women who passed on recently were laid to rest. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was joined at the event by governors of Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun and Ondo states, as well as political leaders in the southwest, to celebrate the lives and times of the mother of the governor of Oyo State, Abigail Makinde, and Madam Tola Oyediran, daughter of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Jide Onifade tells us more.
Incidentally, both events coincide, and on arrival in Ibadan, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, in company of his wife, Dolapo, pays a condolence visit to Governor Oluseyi Makinde, where he spent about half an hour before proceeding to attend the church program in honor of late Tola Oyediran. Omotola Olubomi Oyediran, who died on the 16th of October 2020, was born on the 1st of December 1940. As the second child and fourth daughter of the four children of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Mama, as fondly called, was described as a woman of virtue, honor, and extreme humility, who came to serve our generation. In the sermon at the funeral service, which took place at All Saints Church, Jericho in Ibadan, 82-years-old retired Archbishop of the Methodist Church, Nigeria, Ayo Ladibolu, describes her and late Madam Abigail Makinde as human and nation builders. The plant is greener in the morning time, and in the evening it withers.
She gave of herself very freely to others.
And we just thank God for her life. She was a great mother, and she loved many other children, even those that were not her own biological children.
We give God all the glory for the life of caring about others, of remarkable kindness and generosity that she lived.
The planting of a symbolic tree in remembrance of the departed by the children was done to cap the ceremony. In Ibadan, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And on that note, we thank you so much for joining us on Network News tonight. I am Jummai Yusuf.